All right, we're coming back in. It was a short rain delay, and we have the men's open singles gold medal right in front of us. And right now we've got Christine Barksdale and myself in the booth. And let's see. Oh, I think we've got.
No, he's fine.
Oh, we've got the right video. Okay,
Yeah.
so we got Joey Farias on the far end, and we have Kyle Yates, who's coming from the winner's bracket. So this is the most crowd we've had around this court. We've got the bleachers filled, and we are refereed today by Rick Hobson again. So how are you feeling about this, Christine?
You know, I'm pretty excited to be able to watch this match. I love Joey's just style of play. It's very pretty, very tennis oriented, very tennis based. But Kyle's just so fast around the court that he's just fun to watch, right?
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have a very good match in front of us right now. Very excited about it.
They're both entertaining. I got to say that from players. They're both phenomenal pickleball players. And they play a lot. I mean, they've played each other quite a few times, and they've gone back and forth a little bit. They've had a few wins for each of them.
Yes, we are back.
And there's Craig's coming back. We're collecting the whole crew here, making sure you're all set up.
The band's all back together again.
So we're here. We've been struggling with a little bit of weather, but we're watching the men's gold final here in Coppell, Texas at the Wagon Wheel Tennis Center. Wagon Wheel Tennis Center. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility for with 4 brand new pickleball courts. And the community just showing some dedication to the growing sport of pickleball right now.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my gosh.
We're seeing that everywhere right now. I mean, I've been all over this country these last few months. Since I've been working with the PPR especially, I've been in a lot of facilities like this, tennis facilities all over the country that are welcoming pickleball, which is fantastic. It means more courts for us. It means more lessons. It means better education. But, my kind of thing is it means more places for kids to play. That's one of my big passions is having the ability for facilities like this who run kids programs who now are comfortable with that and going to run some pickleball programs for kids. Making sure that it's streaming correctly. Can you guys see us out there? I think so.
We need to refresh it.
Okay. All right, so what they're doing out there now, they're picking serve side. And it's going to be interesting to see what they pick with the little bit of wind we've got going on today. We were talking about personal preference on, do you like to start with or against the wind? And we're going to find out real quickly here who chose what.
Yeah. Let's see if we've got this to open up. Both these guys are pretty experienced players, so I'm sure they have their preference on what they're going to do.
And it looks like Joey's starting with the wind, right?
Yep. And it has calmed down quite a bit. I mean, the last couple matches we had have been a little bit windier. But this is a little bit better. They fixed it.
That's why you need Darian. Everybody needs Darian.
Everybody needs a Darian, a technology assistant to travel with them. Okay, we got first point of the match.
I just play pickleball, so that's...
That's why we have Darian and David back there.
All right, so Joey's starting off. It's 1-0. And look at that.
It's a great passing shot. As we learned earlier from Tyler Wren, who played Joey in the bronze medal match, that apparently Joey's shots, when he's on that side of the court, they're just dipping over, and he's just got such precision that his ground strokes are just amazing right now. That's from Tyler Wren.
Yeah.
And we're seeing this match starting out that way.
Yeah. I mean, you could see that wind is kind of against Kyle right now, so for him to keep that return deep is going to be pretty difficult. Especially if Joey's able to keep that deep serve. I mean, just look at that. That's like 4 passing shots in a row.
It looks like we're starting to see little raindrops. Is that what I'm seeing? Kyle looked up in the sky, and I believe I'm seeing some rain out there. We see how far we get into this match. But Kyle will start adjusting here shortly.
I think even that was actually a better adjustment. So even though it wasn't a deep ball, that short ball, it bounced kind of low, and it was much more difficult for Joey to get under.
Oh, the raindrops are getting bigger, folks. And the court's getting slippery.
Oh, just wide.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're going to see Kyle looking at calling the match for the rain.
Yeah.
He did slip over here, and it's definitely getting a little bit unsafe. I think the tournament director should probably look at halting all courts right now for safety purposes.
And so we'll see. I mean, the weather forecast shows that there's not really much heavy rain scheduled till later tonight. So hopefully this will kind of be a passing, another just short rain delay.
Yeah, it looks like there's, I'm looking at the radar. At the moment, it's just a little, there's a little bit out there, but it's definitely coming down probably in about 3 hours. We're definitely going to have.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question it's going to be here at some point.
That's what I thought we'd do. You know, I happened to see Ford Roberson passing by, and he is the president of the SSIPA.
Right.
You know, and I'd like to give him a minute here to just talk a little bit about the organization while we've got a little break in the rain. So, Ford, do you want to tell him a little bit about what you guys got going on right now? They're good. We work closely with the USAPA, and I really support the organization and the things they're doing for the seniors in the sport. So, Ford, tell us what you got going on right now.
Well, we're just about to start our championship series for SIPA. It's 3 tournaments. It's the East Championships in Griffin, Georgia. That'll be starting on Tuesday of this coming week on the 18th. And then we'll move from there in October, the 23rd through 25th, to Super Senior World. That'll be in Denton, Texas. Those tournaments have, Griffin has close to 300. Super Seniors is already over 300. We opened registration yesterday in Arizona for the West Championships and had over 400 players in a couple of hours.
Wow,
so
that's great. That's a sign of the times for pickleball these days. You want to register for a tournament, you got to register quick. It doesn't matter what kind of tournament you're thinking of anymore, does it?
It's amazing to me, the growth of this sport. I've been in the sport only 5 years, and yet it seems like every year things are just exploding around us. The tournament scene, when I first started 5 years ago, I was looking for tournaments. I was going all over the country, playing a tournament in this state, a tournament in that state. Now every state, it's just amazing. I don't know if there's a state hardly in the country where there's a pickleball center that doesn't have 50 or more tournaments. Wow.
So give me a 30-second infomercial for maybe anybody out there that doesn't know about SIPA. Can you give me a 30-second infomercial on that?
Yeah, SIPA is all about supporting players that are 60 plus in age. And so we have 5 age divisions within our grouping: 60, 65, 70, 75, and 80 plus. And in some of our smaller tournaments, sometimes we have to combine the older age groups with the younger age groups. But in general, we mostly are able to sustain every age group. And then within those age groups, we also have skill levels, 3-0 to 5-0. Sometimes in the smaller tournaments, again, we put the 3-0s and the 3-5s together. Sometimes the 4-5s and 5-0s are playing together. Often the 4-0s, there's enough teams that they can support themselves. So this year we had a 41 tournament circuit around the world. The I in SIPA stands for international. 2 tournaments in Mexico this year, 1 in Canada, and the Bainbridge Cup that was in Montesilvano, Italy, was a SIPA circuit event, the Italian Open. Next year, just a preview, looks like we're going to the Dusseldorf area of Germany for the Bainbridge Cup.
That sounds
And
great.
the German Open will be a SIPA circuit event, it looks like. And then Daniel Moore is in Japan, and we're going to have the Japan Open, working toward that right now with him. And that would be a SIPA circuit event. So all you players 60 and over, you need to get in SIPA. Our membership passed 1,600 this past week.
Wow. And how long has SIPA been?
Yeah, SIPA will be 2 years old.
It's fantastic.
December the 27th.
Wow.
So last year.
2 years old.
Yeah, 2 years. We're going to have our 2-year birthday in December, right after 2 days
We'll
after
have to have
Christmas.
a birthday party for it.
Yeah, we need a birthday
Well,
party.
it's definitely doing some great things for the sport, and I know I appreciate working with you and your team and the SIPA players. I just love that they're coming out and playing. That just talks to this, as we've referenced several times today, this cross-generational sport that we got to watch a mother-daughter out there today, and we're going to get to see. I'm wanting to play with my dad, so I'm looking for one of those combined age tournaments. Love to play with my dad, but yeah, I think SIPA is doing some great things for the
maybe SIPA
population.
can look at supporting some combined age. SIPA does do embeds where we have players all age groups all the way through the 60s, and players under 60. The tournament directors do whatever they want to with those groups and follow our guidelines over 60. And this year we've actually had more embed tournaments than we've had standalone tournaments for just 60 and over.
Wow.
You know, and I think as the sport continues to grow, we're going to see less and less need for any combining of events. You know, I
Yeah.
think
Right, absolutely.
the more they realize that people can play at all ages and all skills, that's really going to bring them out, and we'll see less combining of the events, which is really ultimately the direction we want to head.
Absolutely.
We
Yeah.
want people to be able to compete at their age and their skill and not have to combine up at all.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's the key to the growth of the sport.
So we welcome players. You know, my favorite thing about pickleball is, you know, you walk by, and I bet we all experienced it. You know, you try to watch for a second, and somebody says, hey, come on in. I got a paddle for you.
There you go.
Right? Come on in. Let me show you how to play. That's the greatest thing about this sport is how welcoming it is.
Well, I say all the time, I've competed in 8 different sports in my lifetime, and this is the only sport I've ever competed in where I believe everybody is friends with everybody. Your most fierce competitor can be your best buddy off the court. It's a very social sport. It's a very
Absolutely.
happy
a
sport.
true
Look at
thing.
all the smiles and the happiness of all the people. That's one of
Well,
the great beauties.
I always say there's a huge benefit when people learn the sport. The learning curve is amazing. It's the easiness and the welcomeness that comes in, but it's the social aspects that gets people to stay. It's the community that once they get out there, they enjoy everybody around. Everybody just loves pickleball so much. They just want to share it with everybody, which is fantastic.
Well, I'd like to compliment Jean Ann Stasny and all the support cast, Melissa McCurley, you guys for coming here to Texas, being part of this. I'm a native Texan. I love it here, but I travel everywhere, but I'm always glad to come home. And now we have the Texas Open. Wow,
It's a fabulous
how cool
venue,
is
fabulous
this?
Yeah.
tournament.
It's
and I
about
love,
time, right?
I
Yeah,
love coming
yeah.
to Texas.
Yeah.
I love coming to Texas. I just think it's fun. It's,
Yep.
you know, great environment. People are friendly. And I love, you know, Texas accent. They think I have an accent, but I'm still not convinced of that.
If you stayed over here long enough, you'd be talking like the rest of us. And they say, yeah, that Ford guy, we know where he's from for sure. You know, so.
So it looks like we're going to be settling in for a rain delay
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
coming
we got a
heavy.
cloud sitting right over us. This stuff's trying to gather all day long and makes me sad. But
Well, we were
hopefully we'll get the day in.
We'll hope to get it
yeah,
in. When
we
we
got a few
return, we're
more.
going to take a little break, I
think
guess,
so.
here. When we return, we'll hopefully we'll have Joey Farias and Kyle Yates playing the men's gold medal match. Hey, before we take a break here, Ford, you got a prediction for us? Who do you think's going to win this match? Don't tell Joey. Hope he's not listening. Or Kyle. Don't tell him.
Well, both of these guys are 2 of my favorites. Joey's actually hosting a SIPA tournament in Tucson in a few weeks, October the 5th through 7th. But anyway,
Joey will be back, huh?
He's playing very well right now. Took down a couple of fierce competitors early today. Kyle is always steady and solid. Nobody could bet against Kyle. But Joey might have his day today. I don't know.
Well,
we'll just have to see.
the way they started out, Joey was on fire with his passing shots. I don't know if
Yeah.
you caught any of those, but they were just lots of heavy topspin, dipping right over the net. Joey's looking good. So we'll see if how the wind, and hopefully we get back to this match and get to treat our viewers with a little more pickleball today.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Well,
for sure.
Might see a totally different weather right in front of us when we come back. So
Yeah.
All right, well,
that
thanks
would
for
be
stopping
good.
in the booth
well,
today, Ford,
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be with you ladies
All right.
anytime I get a chance to visit. So thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you,
Thanks
Ford.
a lot.
Sorry, women's doubles 4.0, 60 plus. Lorna Hornbuckle, Chris Gallion, Mary Kilgust, Charlie Smith, Kilgust, Hornbuckle, Gallion. Please report to court 13. Julia will be a referee. Zane Affleck, please report to the referee table. Zane Affleck, please report to the referee table.
All right, I made it back to the booth. We still have Christine and Craig recovering from this rain, but we've got Kyle and Joey continuing play. That ball looked a little bit long. Looked like Joe even looked down for that. And I'm trying to get a read on the score. We've had it so loud around here right now. We've got some people at the weeds, and we've got these speakers. It's been pretty active, so really excited to get going again. So we've got 1-6, Kyle serving. That's a really good serve. He's really swung through. So we got 2-6 now. Well, let's see. Joey's been fantastic with his passing shots today, and that's what he's been really doing well so far. So what we're going to see is how Kyle is adjusting, which look at that. He just really hit the beautiful passing shot in response to his approach. And here
they didn't
are
wait for us. They did not
my
wait.
people.
Sarah, come
I know.
on.
I had just asked them how
all that
long
about?
too, and they said they had a few minutes.
All right.
So right now we've got Craig Bell's back and Christine Barksdale, our wonderful USAPA representative, and Craig Bell is responsible for this fantastic live streaming from Tex-Mex Productions.
Tex-Mex. Good eye.
It's a little out ball right there, so I think that's side out.
So tell me, Sarah, catch me up. What did we miss? They just come back from a rain delay.
So
and Joey was leading as we went into that rain delay. Is that right?
So he's still
Yes.
up. It's 3-6 now. So Kyle got a couple free points off of service return, and he had a fantastic passing shot right when you guys were walking up. So right now the wind has calmed down quite a bit. So
It's actually pretty pleasant.
yeah, it's kind of perfect.
Can it be like this all the time?
No
right?
kidding,
Come on,
right?
Sarah, what's the deal, right?
And I know some of the concern was, I don't know if that's what Kyle just looked back at. Wow, that's
Nice shot.
That's a great control on that. But there's a little bit of wetness right back here by the fence, and so I know that was a little bit of concern before they started. So I think it's pretty good now.
Yeah, we had a team out here, I hear, with beach towels drying the courts
Yeah.
off a little bit ago.
Oh, man, they were here. I mean, as soon as it was dry, people were like, let's get going again. They had fantastic effort by the volunteers here, and obviously Jean-Ann Stastny, our director.
So 3-7.
I just spoke with Melissa. She was saying that if we, at this rate, if we keep going, we're going to be here at 11 tonight.
Good gracious.
So could be a long day. But,
it could be, huh?
But we are only airing until about 6 p.m.
That's 6
and
somewhere
noon,
in there.
noon to 6 each day. So
Right. Oh,
tomorrow,
that's great.
tomorrow
Yeah,
we've
we'll be
got
back.
some pro mixed doubles.
Sure.
Be some good
and,
matches. And
Sunday we've got some ladies doubles.
some
Is that
women,
correct?
ladies,
pro
and some
ladies doubles.
and some men's. Yeah, correct.
5-0 men's doubles,
So
probably.
now, Christine, aren't you playing with Kyle here tomorrow?
I am. I'm
That's
playing with Kyle.
not
Yates.
so bad, huh?
No, you know, Kyle and I played the Atlantic South Regional last year, and I enjoy playing with Kyle. You know, he's very fun on the court. He's,
Yeah.
You know, and he's actually very nice to me. And I you know, a guy wants to take all the court, go for it. It's all you, man. I'm here to make you look pretty.
Wow.
So-
I mean, look at just what
was
happened, though. I mean, that's
beautiful.
just a test for Kyle's speed. That ball went dead corner to his forehand side, and Joey hit this, like, ridiculous drop shot, and Kyle got to
He
him.
got it.
Got
Yeah.
both of them. You know, it was the last ball that was the hard one. There's not much else you can do after that. Okay, so I think that same thing happened that
What's Joey?
there's a little bit of a question. So the umpire, the lines judge is not really calling that line.
Right.
So what happened was Joey looked at the lines judge and he kind of put his finger out and agreed with the call. But
Right.
I think that's also what happened a couple points ago. I mean, the ball looked fairly long and Joey looked down at it, but there was no call, so he continued play.
Right. Well, that's something, you know, lines judge, just be confident.
Yeah.
Make the line
Yeah.
call. You know, but everybody's out here. They're volunteers
Yep.
and they're dedicating their time. And so sometimes you're a little nervous. You're
Yes.
intimidated maybe by
Big
the
match.
pros. And
This-
Yes,
this
it
is-
is.
this
Yeah.
Correct.
There's
It's a
some
big
money on the
match.
line,
But
and
you
you
know,
got.
it's important. Call it as you see it
Yep.
and be confident. And
Absolutely.
actually helps the pros because
It does.
if they don't know for sure, just
Yep.
help them out.
Absolutely.
You know, so be confident in your calls.
I always tell when someone, a ref or anything, I'm like, you tell me what happens. I'll go with whatever you say.
So it's 4-9. That's a nice
Oh,
pass.
That's
that was
really
a
good. So-
Beautiful passing shot. A little fist pump out of Kyle
Yeah.
there. He's
So
feeling
Kyle's been
good.
hitting some really good, what we consider kind of drop shots. He's been dropping the ball over into the non-volley zone on Joey's side and trying to slow down the pace a little bit. Instead of going for an immediate passing shot, he's really slowing it down and getting the setup for the next shot.
creating opportunity. I
Very
always
smart.
kind of like to think of it a little bit as a chess game. Oh, see, that's that
Yeah.
slippery spot you just referenced.
Yeah.
That Kyle slipped in this back court here just a little bit.
And it is, I would say, the side that Kyle's on is deeper than what Joey has. Like, Joey's side of the court is a little more shallow. So, I mean, Kyle was literally almost in the fence
He
there.
was in the fence, and then he slipped.
Yeah.
He's almost in the booth with us.
He was,
Yes.
right?
So Joey expressed a little frustration there. He missed kind of
Yeah.
probably what he thought was an easy volley.
Yeah.
Going into that, but he's cut himself a little slack. Now, Joey's on the road right now with Gearbox,
Yeah.
traveling around and teaching some lessons. And if you get a chance, anybody's out there gets a chance to take a lesson from Joey Farias, I suggest it. He's a great guy, and I think has a lot of good things to teach.
Yeah. Yeah, Gearbox has been really expanding on their education, and Paddle Tech also has the same. A lot of the companies have some great clinics with their pros.
And Kyle just hit a beautiful finishing volley there. That was actually just a, almost textbook.
Yeah.
Drive in, volley, nice angle volley off the side of the court. Not a lot Joey could do there.
Yeah.
We're at 5-9, going back and forth. Last few points.
And we're in game 1
We're-
of this
yep.
gold medal match, correct?
Yep.
Here in Coppell, Texas.
And you can see just how important these deep serves and deep returns are. The setting up of the shot, allowing them to come forward.
That's a good shot. Looked like Kyle was going to the forehand side. Joey hit it to the backhand side.
And you can see that return was a little bit short, but he still approached the net. And so what Joey did was attack that short ball.
10-5.
That's got to be disappointing. Joey was there.
He was right there.
It was great hands from both of them.
Just a missed shot. And those
Yeah.
kids, sometimes they get away from you. Comes off the pad
Yeah.
a little faster than you're thinking, and
Absolutely.
he's hitting just a nice driving deep ball right on the line. It makes
Yeah.
it tough for Kyle to get over. Kyle's quick, but it's still a tough ball to get to.
And you can see that he's really getting his legs underneath the ball. He's moving in behind it, and that's the important thing. It's not, it's not just that return. It's that the preparation for the next shot. And what Joey does is he's got really good prep. And I wonder if he even let that go, or you could see that. Actually, I could feel that breeze coming against us right now.
Feels good.
So
I like
yeah,
that.
I like it
That's
most
kinda cool.
definitely. Yeah.
5-10. 5-10.
Something I
Opening game?
want to share right now here is that we have some profile sheets from the players, and something I want to shout out here is actually both players.
Yep.
Both players, their favorite pro player. Some of you that haven't been around very long won't know this name, but I'm going to give you the whole thing. Their favorite pro player, Puppet Master.
Puppet Master.
That is Puppet Master Tim Nelson.
Tim Nelson,
He
yep.
was an early one of the top winners. Was very strategic, very thoughtful in his game.
Yep, very smart.
Analytical, just a smart player. So I find it fascinating that both of them wrote down their favorite pro players.
Yeah.
Puppet Master Tim Nelson.
So
You
as-
learn all sorts of things here on Tex-Mex,
No
right?
kidding, right?
Yes.
Well, it's kind of interesting right there is Kyle questioned that last call, and I honestly did think it was out myself. I thought from our angle, but
Our angle's horrible, but
Yeah.
you got to trust the guy sitting on
Yeah.
the line for
so
sure.
it is tough. But thankfully, this is why we have line judges, is because this is really it's hard. It's again, like we were speaking about earlier, that bounce of the ball is not as simple as people think it is.
No, it's a lot is about angle with which you see the ball. And the person that has the best is the line of
Yep.
sight. We're looking right down that line. They've got the best call, which is why we use line judges
Yep.
in these big matches.
It's one of the most important things about having
Oh,
a
there's
sanctioned
first
event, in
game.
my opinion.
First game.
Yep, game
Yes,
one,
having-
11-5, I believe.
Having referees, a lot of matches without referees miss those kitchen footfalls.
Yeah.
And that's a part of the game. It is, I guess
Well, you have all these athletes coming in. They're longer, they're taller, and I think a lot of times people forget we are, at a bare minimum, 14 feet away from each other. Now, when someone uses their length or they fall into that non-volley zone, think about how fast and how close that ball is coming at us. And when someone steps into that no-volley zone and takes those extra couple inches, it's a huge difference.
Trying to get us back on here with maybe Darian. Can you push this so we can see what's going on? Oh, we're actually on the camera, so
We're
we'll
on
say
the
hi right
camera,
there.
so
We'll say
that's
right
all.
there.
It's mostly our view. That's
we have a great view. We just can't see
Right.
it. But what I like to see is, when
like
we're
to see the
seeing
comments,
yeah.
from people. I like to
Yeah.
know what's going on,
There we
who's
go.
watching.
We want to know our peeps, what they're saying,
Yeah.
right?
Bring the smart people in. Here we go.
That's
Okay, so we're getting ready to
There's
go
the
into
live one, I
getting ready to go into game 2 here with Joey Farias from Tucson, Arizona. He teaches tennis at the Tucson Country Club?
I believe so.
Right down there. Yeah, Tucson Country Club. And then we got Kyle Yates out of Florida. Fort Myers, Florida. That's where I met Kyle several years ago.
Several years ago.
Before anybody knew who Kyle was. And I played mixed doubles with him, and I said, oh, this boy knows what he's doing.
He's a good athlete. He's great at pickleball. Obviously, he works really hard. He's out there. He's studying those matches, and just like we were talking about, he's kind of always been known to study Tim Nelson. Smart player. If you don't know who that is, YouTube it. Check out some of his matches. A little unorthodox, but it's what makes us smart in pickleball. It's playing smarter, not harder.
He's probably one that set some of the early strategies in pickleball. Mixed doubles, you name it. Very smart player. I don't think he's playing a lot anymore. I don't know. I haven't seen Tim Nelson in a long time. I know he went back to law school.
He went to law school.
But I haven't seen him in a long time. It'd be fun to see. It would be fun to have Tim in the booth here right now.
See what the score is here.
Oh, that's
there's
great,
a nice shot.
That was a great
Good
play
athleticism.
by Kyle. Yeah, demonstrates his athletic ability.
Well, and we'll see that again. That wind change is going to be different on that side. Players have tended to be more successful on the side that Kyle's on right now.
We're at 1-2. Now we're going to be at 2-2.
And you really, again, like I was saying earlier, the important is those first few points when you change sides are so important to not rush, because you have a different climate on the other side. That's very smooth.
There's that swing volley you were talking
Yeah.
about a little earlier. Everybody swing volleys now. It steps into it.
It's a huge difference in the game that we have today. It's not the kind of old style of a punch volley. We're swinging through our shots. It's much more of a tennis style stroke, but it's basically it's where so much of our power comes from. We're using our shoulders and our body in a totally different way.
And when you do that, you still need to make sure you catch the ball a little bit out front.
Always.
Right?
Everything.
If it gets a little bit behind you, you're going to
done.
dump it in the net or out or something. You got to do, when you're doing a swing volley, catch it a little bit out front. Is that right, Sarah?
Always, everything. I mean, the reality is pickleball's in front. We don't have time to catch behind us. We catch anything behind and we're in trouble. I always say, you got three things to think about. You need your paddle in front, you need your ball in front, and you need the court in front.
That's three good pieces of information.
Not too bad. It's kind of my go-to, and you're thinking of a lot of times what happens, people swing too big and they catch the ball behind them, and to keep that in is just so difficult. So even though we have these larger swings, you can see that they're still a little bit more compact than like a full tennis stroke.
Sure.
We're at 4-2. Joey hit 2 shots just barely out.
Yeah, just a few unforced errors from Joey.
It's going to be interesting to see. Joey's had to play a few more matches today than Kyle. He came in through the loser's bracket, so he's had a couple extra matches. And we'll see if the weather, both of them, I guess, both of them are used to this humid weather, I would gather. This is probably normal for Kyle.
Well, and Joey's from a drier, it's much drier in Arizona, so.
But he's been on the road quite a bit.
He has,
so
that's true.
That might help him prep for this.
It's different. It's much harder on the body, especially in singles. You're getting a lot more cramping if you don't really take care of yourself with hydration and nutrition. It's really easy to struggle, especially when you're playing all those back-to-back matches.
Yes. And we talked a little bit with Tyler Wren, who was the bronze medalist here, about how much hydrating and preparing he had been. And he said that him not being used to this weather was a factor today.
I'm not really sure what that look just was. I mean, Joey hit a well-in shot. It didn't even hit the line. It was in the purple. So I'm not really sure what that was.
I missed Kyle have probably replaying the point in his mind.
Yeah. Well, right there, it's kind of a prime example. Maybe you can get away with that in tennis where you just drive that ball right to that player, but we really have to get that ball away. We have to hit those passing shots. To give the ball to someone at the net is a rarity that they're going to be able to get away with that.
I think Kyle got a little greedy on that ball.
A little bit.
He actually had Joey in a spot where he didn't need to go for quite so much of a winner, but
I think it happens all the time, right? You see the big shot, you want the big shot, and
you realize you didn't have to go for quite so much, but like that was such a well-hit ball on Joey.
I mean, it really was.
But Kyle made a beautiful pickup of it.
And again, they kept it to that corner of the court, so it wasn't just like a pickup. I mean, how important the placement of the ball is in the positioning here. I mean, we really can't get away with, even a little bit. These guys are going to take advantage of something that, anything they'll take.
5-4.
5-4, so a little closer this game.
Kyle leads. Second game. Ooh.
So, I mean, yeah, again, that's just a miss. I mean, if he would have taken an extra second on that, not gone for so much, given, it would have been a pretty passing shot. I mean, Joey was coming in a little fast. For him to be able to get anything on that side, it was been really difficult to do.
Joey went for a lot on that serve. Could have paid off, but it looks like it missed just a little bit wide.
And I don't think a lot of people realize Joey's got a pretty big serve. I mean, it's really penetrating. He really swings through the ball. It's a weapon of his.
Nice backhand volley.
It was a beautiful one-handed backhand volley. Very smooth.
4-5.
And again, we have here in the booth Sarah Ansberry,
Nice shot.
giving
look at
all
that.
this expert information and tips that I'm writing down.
We're getting
Yeah.
all this for free, too.
Right, I know. It's a
We
free
didn't have to
lesson.
pay for it.
No.
High ball.
Well, Christine pays me later. We have an
Oh,
agreement.
okay.
So, yeah.
You just have to let me know what I have to owe, too.
Yeah, there you go.
We've got Tex-Mex Productions in here.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, we're at the Texas Open. The first year we've got this Texan Open in Dallas, Texas. It's a great event. They really pulled in some great opportunities for all of us.
What a dropper by Kyle right there.
All right, we got a timeout from
Timeout.
Joey.
Joey. So what do you think Joey's looking for? A regroup here? Kyle's gotten to run. Score.
Trying to, it almost, that last ball, it kind of looked like Joey stopped. And I don't know if he lost his footing. He's kind of caught behind that fence, so I couldn't see it.
Looks like he's doing a
But
shoe
something with his
adjustment
shoe.
here.
Right.
So what did the score was? A 6-5?
6-5,
Okay,
yep.
6-5. Kyle serving. Kyle
Right.
Yates is serving.
Yep.
And it looks like Joey's just
Pulling
got
out
a
something.
Maybe got
shoe
something.
malfunction
Yeah.
going on right now.
Maybe an orthotic slipped or something.
Hey, it could be, yeah.
Or sock.
Yeah, there you go.
We're sitting
mean,
here right on top of this.
Those things drive me crazy. I mean, every time I've got a match, I'm changing my socks right before I play and making sure everything is perfect.
Let's say hello to everybody real quick right there. Say hi to everybody. We'll wave at them. Give them a nice Texas welcome here on the USAPA Pickleball Facebook page. Glad that you all are using a little of your time wisely here with Christine and Sarah
Yeah.
and myself. Man, this is great.
We're having a great time here
yeah.
in the booth. Where it looks like we're getting some rain
Little
again.
bit.
I'm anticipating another rain delay.
Well, let's not, let's try to be
Cross our
positive.
finger. Cross our
Cross the
finger.
fingers.
I worry about these guys slipping on the court. See, you can see.
I would have definitely at least taken a timeout or something, because it's just a lot of movement to be moving that much and just kind of.
Just a
Well,
little
we really
sprinkle.
don't want any injuries
No.
here. These guys are rolling into a lot of big tournaments coming up, and especially the
We've got nationals.
2018
Yes.
Margaritaville
So
USA
excited.
Pickleball Nationals.
Right.
I think, Craig, I don't know if you know this, I kind of say Christine's probably the hardest working woman in pickleball.
She's the big pickle.
I don't think people, she's got quite the job set at USAPA. She handles so much of what we do, and obviously, I think just the task. Anytime someone's running a tournament itself, just like we have here, it takes so much work. It takes so much volunteers. It's a process of a year. I mean, to have these events.
Absolutely.
And we are definitely excited for this year's Margaritaville 2018 USAPA Nationals. I'm very excited. Playing, think about, Craig, we all come from tennis, actually. Playing at Indian Wells on the arena courts. I
Yes.
mean, how could you ask for anything more?
Hey,
as a player.